Okay, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Big D here, coming to you live. Okay, just a quick little introduction here. I wanted to talk about this new video series that I've begun. I got some interviews while I was down at Frag. Not as many as I would have liked, but I got several I got several interviews that I'm real happy about, and they're going to be called The Faces of Frag. Okay, it's a nice light affair where we'll be laying it down with Big D, okay? We finally found the format. Laying it down with Big D, we're going to be interviewing people. We're going to be talking Counter-Strike. We're going to be talking LAN. But most importantly, we're going to have a focus on NACS. And with that, we'll have a series called The Faces of Frag. So lay back, enjoy The Faces of Frag. And it's unedited because Big D likes to go in raw. You know how it is. Okay. The Faces of Frag. Enjoy. Okay, we're coming around. Hello? Are we on one more time? I think so. Oh, okay, here we go. One of these times I'm gonna plop down on this thing and it's gonna be like one of those blobs and just shoot them off. I need to, I think we can do that in post. We'll just have you fly off into the distance and then reappear.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm Andrew Big D Morrow here laying it down with Big D. I'm your host, Big D. I've said Big D enough times, I think. We're at the Hy-Vee Arena with Tyler Gunks.
Gunks, correctamundo.
That's with an S, by the way. We'll talk to singular Gunk later, hopefully. But Gunks, how'd you get involved with Frag?
It's kind of a funny story. I was back in the open qualies for the Copenhagen Major earlier this year. I believe I was watching Darth Mike co-stream one of the games, and I just popped in chat and asked him how he got involved in esports, and he said he just started volunteering with Fragadelphia. And that night, I sent Sasquatch an email with my resume. We had like a 15-minute Discord call like the next week. Next thing I know, I was in Philadelphia for Frag Tap the first, and the rest is history, I suppose.
How long ago was that, and how many frags have you done now?
So that would have been back in March. I have been on site for about 5 or 6 events now, in the past 8 months. Yeah, give or take.
And I know you're a jack of all trades and you do anything around here, but like, what's been your like main? Like, what's been your job around here this week mostly?
This week, I'm pretty much just making sure all of the Frag staff are taken care of. So the staff take care of the players in the games, and then I try my best to take care of them when I can. When it's not event time, I'm usually doing more of the back-end business stuff like that, looking for venues and sponsors and stuff like that. But yeah, like you said, during events, I wear a bunch of different hats, just whatever it takes to make it happen. So.
Well, and this is going to segue into the next thing I said. You're kind of like the glue holding it all together here, just like Fragadelphia is the glue holding together NACS. Am I right?
Heck yeah. Dude, heck yeah. We're pretty much the only TO putting on CS LANs in North America. I mean, there's a couple smaller players around, but nobody with the history that Frag has, the connections that Frag has, with really the cultural impact that Frag has on NACS. They have been putting on events since Go was released, pretty much. So if you're looking for, like, Frag is NACS's home. Like, we love y'all. We do it all for the community, so.
Yeah, that's I've gotten to spend, this is my first Frag as well. This is about you, by the way, but just to corroborate what you're saying about NA Counter-Strike, this is my first Frag event, but I've been paying attention to it pretty closely all year. I've heard about Frag since it started, but this was the year that I really paid attention to it, and man, it is literally the only thing that is keeping NACS alive. We're seeing so many things change and switch up. Do you think that there's more frags coming as time goes on, or does Frag like have kind of a schedule that it's hoping to develop?
There's definitely a lot more frags coming in 2025. We're looking to put on as many events as we can between our monthlies in South New Jersey and bigger 10K events like Frag Miami or Fragadelphia. And then we're looking to do 2 big main events like this, 2 numbered events next year. And yeah, just more frags, whatever it takes. We're just the people who put on online tournaments don't really care about the North American scene. They're just doing it because they would be lambasted on social media if they didn't do it. So we're just doing whatever we can. So expect some new events, expect some of the same events to keep going, keep racking up the numbers, building their own communities. Whatever it takes, I suppose, just to keep us all going, keep the passion alive.
That, I pulled my microphone back there, and then I realized I did it too soon.
I was running out of words.
Well, and then it shot the question I had in my head right out of my brain, so now I'm lost and hoping that while I'm stalling for time that it'll come flying back. Here's the question that I had. It worked. How did you, what's your earliest memory of Counter-Strike? I'm assuming you're here because you love Counter-Strike, right?
Yes. My earliest memory, I must have been 12 or 13. So 2013 when it came out, I went to a friend's house and he was playing Assault. And he's like, have you ever played before? No, and I played Assault. I got absolutely pooped on. And I didn't touch the game for about 4 years after that. And then when I was in high school, I moved to New Jersey and I got in with a friend group who were all really into Counter-Strike. And I was never really into it, but I wanted to make some friends. So I just played CS with them like every night. And 7 years later, here I am, still in love with the game while they've all moved on to new ventures. So it's kind of funny that way. I owe those friends a lot. They're the reason for my passion in a way. So it's pretty great.
I love that. What is the highest? What's the highest you've ever? What's like the highest achievement you ever hit in Counter-Strike?
Highest achievement. I've killed a Dren in a map core Face It Hub game.
Who's sitting right over there?
True. Yeah. He doesn't know that. I haven't told him. I haven't. There's no need to rub it in. That'd probably be one of the higher achievements. I've done like some collegiate Playfly tournaments, but never really placed high or anything like that. Never really grinded matchmaking or Face It, but I don't know. I just do it for the love of the game rather than love of the elo, I suppose.
And I think this is like, I appreciate you saying that, because one of the things that makes Counter-Strike so special is it invites a host of different play styles. Like everybody can have a different play style, and that also bleeds into everybody can have a different reason to be passionate about it, right? Okay, let's ask a little bit about this tournament right now with the top 6 that are left.
Yeah.
We're watching behind us right now. Fluffy Aimers are up 10-9 against Boss. This is the lower bracket, correct? Is there any left in this top 6 teams? We got Boss, Fluffy Aimers, NRG, Sharks, Nouns, and Undone. Is there anybody in this top 6 that surprises you? And then who would be your dark horse to win this thing? Or who do you think is going to win this thing?
I think for me right now, dark horse would be Undone, the Steel's squad. I think if Steel can find a rhythm in his calls, the players he has around him are all incredibly gifted, mechanically speaking, And if they can keep their comms flowing and Steele can really get into a rhythm with his calls, they can go really far. But I really think that Sharks probably have the best shot of winning the whole thing. I mean, now that we're in the top 6, their competition is just going to get tougher from here. But they're young guys. They are all very hungry. The coach behind them is incredibly gifted. He has a good read for the game. He seems like he knows how to get the best out of his guys. I mean,
that coach?
I believe his name starts with a G, and it is in Portuguese, so I can't pronounce it. It's like Galafalo, or I don't want to mix it up because
Okay,
he's a nice guy, and I don't want to disrespect him like
He's
that.
been around for a long time in the scene, right?
As far as I'm aware, yes, yeah. So
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no. I wouldn't count NRG out of this. I think seems like they might have came in a little cold because a lot of them haven't played in your grassroots land environment in a bit. So coming back is a bit of adjustment to plastic chairs and wooden folding tables, but seems like they've gotten back into the rhythm a bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see an NRG. I don't think it's possible. It could be possible. NRG Sharks final. I would not be surprised if that's how it shakes out. So
you think we're getting a little preview of the grand finals here? I think that's going to be next after this matchup on the main stage. We are getting that.
I think whatever team falls to the lower bracket and that matchup is going to make their way back out of the lower bracket, whichever way it shakes out. So we'll see, but we shall see.
Unless Noun stops them, right?
Yeah, I think the Nouns roster is dangerous. They do have 2 players on trial right now, but Nix and Peeping are really some of the hottest prospects coming out of the Tier 2, Tier 3 NA scene right now. Definitely mechanically speaking, they both have good minds for the game. I haven't gone and talked to Peeping personally, but Nix especially, in my experience, he's a great guy, seems to keep his cool, and he seems to be getting more comfortable as the tournament goes on. I think that this is the first time he's actually gotten to be on land with these guys, share hotel rooms with these guys and all that stuff. So seeing the 2 of them get more comfortable both on the server and off the server with their teammates has been great to watch for me. So I definitely wouldn't count them out, not for a second. And they have a major winner on the squad. So that kind of experience is invaluable in situations like this, especially when you get to those stage matches, you get to those high-pressure games, just having somebody who's been there before or been there in even more high-pressure environments. So Nouns are definitely not out of this, not even in the slightest. But they are facing Undone right now, I believe, in the lower bracket.
Ooh, okay.
I might be wrong, but I believe.
No, I think you are correct because Fluffy Amers is facing Boss, and then they will face off. Yep, and yeah, so you are right. Undone is facing, who did we just say? Nouns right now. So that's anybody's game. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and cut this short. Let's not cut it short, actually. Let's give it the proper attention it deserves. Let's have one final question here. How do you feel about the VRS system, and how do you think that's going to shake things up in 2025?
For the Americas, it definitely adds some complications to things. I know Bonamont, Sasquatch, NVS, they've all been trying to figure out how we structure our events going forward so that the teams come here can get those points that they need to get to those major qualifications, because it's what we do it for. Is we do it for the fun, but also we want to be the place where young players, upcoming talent can come, they can prove themselves, they can get their reps in, and they can get ready for the big leagues, so to speak. So we're doing what we can to make sure that we comply with the new Valve rules, just so players actually can get those points. And we have the upside of being pretty much the only LAN in North America, so you will get more points at our events than you would for any online tournament. So that's a big plus for us. So we really want to make it happen, just for the guys and girls out here that are putting in the hours, putting in the work, doing their homework, playing 40 hours a week, every week, just for the love of the game. We want to be able to give back to them some way or another, do what we can to help them chase their dreams. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. We will have to see how it goes, because we're going to have to invite like the top 8 teams in North America, and the money isn't there right now for us to not have team passes. So we'll have to see how it goes. But we are putting in the effort because the players put in the effort for us and for themselves. So just all for the love of the community.
I love that. I just listening. The number one thing about Frag for me so far has been just the amount of passion every single person has for this, for Counter-Strike, for competitive integrity, for the North American region, for esports and camaraderie in general. It's just been it's been a really beautiful thing to be a part of. I am gonna say that's it, although I had one last question that cropped up in my brain again. Big D's a big pot smoker, so
I mean,
we all are.
The synapses just misfire.
Right, so that's the way she rolls. Well, I'm sure the moment I turn this off, I will have that question for you. But here's a last question for you. How are your pick'ems?
I actually haven't done any pick'ems this major cycle. For the opening stage, I was so caught up with work that I didn't even give it any thought. And then when we got into the elimination stage, I was like on the road for Frag. I was working all weekend before. I haven't even opened the Counter-Strike client for something that wasn't Fragadelphia related in like a week and a half now. So my pick'ems are solid because they don't exist. It's perfect. Nothing to lose if it didn't have to begin with.
Can't lose if you don't play the game.
Keep that in mind.
All right, Gunks, any shout-outs you want to give? And then we're gonna do a little sign-off.
Just a shout-out to all the Frag staff that make this possible. Sasquatch, NVS, Bonamont, all of our admins putting in 16-plus hour days, going with no sleep, and dealing with player frustrations and computer problems and all that stuff. And they still manage to keep a smile on their face. We're still cracking jokes and we're riding back to our Airbnb. Shout out to all those people. That's why I do it, is for those people. And for the players, of course, but yeah. I love the staff.
Hell yeah, I love the staff too. All right, Gunks, thanks for joining me. That's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you later.
Pleasure.